6.7 K-Rock is KROQ. You are listening to the Kevin and Bean Show at 8:39, and we welcome Mike Шиноды to the show. Hi, Mike. Welcome.
Hi there.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay, thanks.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Tell us about the event that you're going to have, because I know. Well, let's start with the fans. Let's start with the fan celebrations and the fan artwork. Talk about that some.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's been 2 months since Chester passed away. The fans have been incredible. I mean, I don't think we could have ever expected such an outpouring of love and all these tributes. I mean, there's tributes. There've literally been tributes all over the world for 2 straight months. If you're on Twitter, fan sites like LP Association, LP Live, LP Catalog, these guys are covering. They're basically retweeting and covering all of these things. And 2 things happened, I think, from us seeing all that stuff. And the guys and Chester's family were deeply moved by all this stuff. And one thing was that they all gravitated towards this track on the album, the title track that you just played, One More Light. And in fact, like the day Chester passed away, we were releasing a video, about to gear up for a different single, which was Talking to Myself. And the fans, they listened to that one, but they really just chose this album track.
It's sort of timing-wise, everybody was like, this is the one that we need right now.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it's, once in a while in our career, we've had different songs that have connected with the fan base in different ways, where they just naturally, organically call radio stations and request it, and they tweet about it, and they edit their own videos of their own stories, or their own in some cases things like their own successes, their graduations, their successes, in some cases it's been sports and stuff like that. And in this one, they were fans everywhere were making these montages of images of Chester, images of themselves, to this song. And so we realized that it had struck a chord with them, and we wanted to let them know that we see that, we hear that. And so we made it the official single, and we just did a video for it, which went up just a few, minutes ago, I think, maybe an hour ago.
Yeah, it's on your Twitter page. If people want to go to LINKIN PARK, they can check out the video there.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what you guys have been through in the past 2 months, but I can't believe the fan interaction that we talked about before. You guys have always been this band that did so much with the fans, from having them kind of take the place of PR in different cities, different countries. It has to have been just so beautiful to have that kind of taken off of you guys, that they're going to handle the tributes for this time while we regroup. Yeah,
I mean, it's been that, and I think the song One More Light, we had written it at a time, we wrote it in an effort to reach out to people. It was a message of we'd had a few different people in our lives. This was a year and almost a year and a half ago. A friend of ours who worked at the record label, who's worked on our stuff since forever. I mean, she was a kind of a lower mid-level employee at the label when we met her, and then she kept getting promoted, and she was just such a great person and did such a great job for a lot of bands, but ours being one of them. And then just suddenly she passed away from cancer, and we wrote that struck me, and I realized that we had lost some family members and friends and stuff all in the course of a year and a half. So I was in the studio and wrote One More Light. And so it was the really the key lyric in that is the chorus goes, "Who cares if one more light goes out?" And the punchline is, "I do."
Yeah.
And the whole point of it was written to say, in times like these, you can't. There's oftentimes not a lot you can do for somebody who's hurting, but you can reach out and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about you. I care." Right? Maybe, and sometimes that's enough. So we wrote that song. We Chester sang it, and it was initially intended to kind of reach out to somebody who had lost someone, And now we find ourselves on the receiving end of that, where the fans have taken our own song and played it back to us and let us know that they're there, they're listening and they're thinking about us. And it's been really, I can't stress enough how special and what an important role all of that has played in getting through this. I know that not only the band, but also Talinda, Chester's wife, and his family have felt the same way. It's hard. It really is hard to listen to that song.